I decided to log in, and for the moment, everything was the same as always. Any World of Warcraft installation, it seemed classical. Though at the top it said Mystery Sofa Sirot, and at the bottom it said we are in 1.7. So I pressed the login button, and after choosing the server, I got to the character creation screen. Most common WoW classic in history, except goblins in the Horde High Elves in the Alliance Rehandsome. And although, of course, this is the model of the Blood Elf of a lifetime, but with blue eyes, the goblin is the goblin of classic, not the one of Cataclysm, which I really liked. So I directly said, hey, why don't we make a goblin wizard here to the max based on some character from my own fantasy books. We have all the customization options of lifetime, which I'm already loving. I've simply been messing around with. Look at that hair, my God. It is the human hair. He was choosing different options. And in the end, I just wanted to see a little bit what the game is like. So I decided on this one. Why? Don't we call it gore, please? Because it's a very goblin-like man. And by pressing accept, we can enter the world. The loading screen is the same as always, but what awaits us beyond? Sorry, what is this? How do I sum up all the emotions I just felt when I saw that intro and saw a super strange goblin next to me? I've been playing WoW for almost 20 years, and this is the first time I've been seeing something I didn't recognize. These lands are new. That structure is an original model. I'm in an authentic starting area new from World of Classic. Everything seems to be here. All the elements we really know from WoW presented with the textures, the artistic style, even that English voice of a goblin that reminds us of Santa Warcraft. Too. Everything is WoW, but at the same time, it's not WoW, it's like a momentary glimpse into a parallel world. And honestly, I instantly wanted to just wander around and do quests and look at everything. Maybe even not do quests, just look. But my surprise was even bigger when I said, damn, and yes, I hit M and discovered that it's an island that never existed. What is this Blackstone Island? And if I right click it, wait, we're on the shores of Durat. What do we have down here? Been clothed as a playable area. And if they move more outwards, what will I find at the PD's Isle of the original classic Alpha, the island of Guilean? But what the hell? What else can I find there hovering over? Just because at this point, I don't know. Gilneas is here in a totally different way than Cataclysm. Wait, there's a city up here to the north of Elysian Highland. Of course, there are high elves in this game. They'll start here directly. I was absolutely thrilled with all this. The Scarlet Enclave is here, for God's sake. Pulled out just like that. But basically, I was freaking out. And I think just by the tone of my voice right now, you can tell, I was with a huge smile on my face. This instantly made me want to explore and know more and discover what the hell is hidden beyond each of these horizons. And on top of that, a sandstorm in the meantime. But already at this point, I couldn't even start to struggle because we actually have a ton of new quest zone context down objectives and on plot. We've already heard in the intro that, well, I've cut the editing a bit, that there's new lore based on Warcraft here. We're being told about a new union of the goblins that have joined the Horde, and they're trying to survive just out there. We have to follow all our codes of Ygritte and so on. But in the background, we hear new original music that had never played in WoW before. What is it this honestly, as much as I wanted to just start playing with this goblin, I was almost even more eager to see what they did with the High Elves. And I instantly started unlocking to create one and just see the starting area to see how it was back in the character creation menu. Let's create a new one. Quickly, hi, Elf Paladin, exactly. I don't care. I just want to see how all this is because I think it's incredible. And it's true, the feeling is totally like living in a parallel world where WoW evolves in a totally different way. Look at that character creation background. For God's sake, if you see that it feels so classic already, per se there, we're going to call it like my lifelong elf paladin. Look at that beard, for God's sake. Except, so what's up, dude? What awaits me after this loading screen? For God's sake, really, Ihone is speechless when seeing something like that. High elves in WoW Classic, of course. There are many TBXs as those trees. Even the high elves themselves are just blood elves reskinned, but on the other hand, there are a lot of custom aces. There are a lot of things here that have never been seen before in WoW, and indeed we are in the area that I saw before to the north of everything, which is an area that exists in WoW until today, but it was totally remodeled and, well, in fact, quite flattened, I have to say, because this area is very mountainous and there's only a small piece of land to the north of all this. This is a huge fan of WoW exploration, and above all, as those who know me know that I've been making videos for years, pondering what could have been and what never was. It was a magical feeling to visit all this, and knowing that I can live a lot of adventures around here, it filled me with excitement because I already had an excuse to make a character alliance at last. Man, I wanted to level up 1-1 Paladin and see where it could take me all this, because of course I already knew from hearsay that I'd never seen it in person, but I knew from hearsay that in your WoW hotel, not only do we have these new beginnings, there's new content, rise dungeons, who knows what else, and the best of Alice, that I did not have an exhaustive list of everything. Everything new was just as unexplored and mysterious as the first time I turned on WoW in 2006 at the time, and it seemed absolutely incredible to relive that schmagic as if it were the first time. But in the middle of 2025, it was incredible, especially oriented towards the Latin American public. But, well, it will be a totally new server with translation into Spanish, and we're oriented for people as Spanish speakers. So those of us from Spain will perfectly be able to play there, because at the end of the day, we speak the same language and we will be totally capable of understanding each other. That server is going to be entirely for Latin American. Fact, inspired by that very thing because of not knowing, I started to look just a little at the Turtle WoW website, and we already have a few screenshots in Spanish where we have information, even videos that explain some of the new areas and dungeons. And honestly, it is a pretty extensive and long website. Just by looking at these photos, man, seeing some things, you say, man, Fortress Guard of the Sadness. Oh, cool. Hyal is in Gilneas. Hey, just with this photo, I want to go to Gilneas to see how it is. Because look, you remember a little what they released in Catabut with classic graphics, and it is definitely something unique. Look at that tower. What a cool thing. Davins, because those models look like they are actually from WoW Alpha. I love them. Tel Aviv, of course. The famous banana of Tel Aviv, for God's sake, at the Highlands. That is what we just saw. And we have a ton of things. Really little Silver Mooner. How pretty established Ben Storm's Corner, previously known as the Alley. The one with the small neck, the urgent one, serves as the embassy for the noble elves. Hey, look at those portals. What a cute thing, for God's sake. And Scarlet Key, beautiful. We already know where it is. And we have a lot of areas, and we even have a floating glacier that is located halfway between Colindo Rips North. But what is this dude? There are all the new maps that they have drawn by hand tome comply a bit with Bo's style. Anyway, in the new bands and dungeons, which there are also a few, that if Karazantha, if Caverns of Time, the Crypt of Karazhan Restored, the Fort of Ben Stormquarry, of Hatesity of Gilneazo is a dungeon too. Grove Growing World, Boss, new, my God, it's so cool, dude, and I want to explore all this.